Shit. Truth is here.
Well, first of all, I'm sure that's not how you pictured this fight going. So can you kind of talk to us about the whole fight in general? I was kind of
Not at all, Amy. If I'm being honest, I mean, I expected the spinning back kick. That's something that very much anticipated, given his style. And you know what? That was his bad. It probably would have been a clean kick if it was properly placed. And for me, I zigged when I should have zagged. But I was because he landed some nice, like little push side kicks, which I anticipated those too. And literally none of those. Those were all just kind of like just pushed me back a little bit. Kind of have to reset. But nah, I expected the kicks to come. I just didn't expect 2 dick kicks and 2 fingers in the eyes to open up the card. And it's crazy because as he's raking me in the eyes, like I physically see his fingers in my eye. I've never experienced that before. But yeah, it was a wild turn of events. But I forgot who mentioned it in the back. It was like, yo, like, just look who you are in this moment. It kind of makes sense. And I was like, you know what? It does make sense. I mean, so it's kind of par for the course at this point.
Do you think he is a dirty fighter, or do you?
Not at all. Not at all. If I'm being honest, I feel he's not used to someone my size, and that's kind of what we were going into this fight. There was, I guess, word that he was a 45er coming up, and I don't think he was that small. He was probably like a 55er. And I ran into him this week at the PI, and we kind of talked a little bit, and he had mentioned that, for him to make 55, it's not a real cut. So I'm assuming all of 45 talk was for him, anticipating going down to 45 following this fight. But I don't even, I mean, if your body can handle that, sure. I'm into science, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that was a proper move for him. But whatever, because he said he can make 55 fairly easy. But when he jump up to 70, the guys are going to be a little bit bigger. And a lot of your attacks, you have to compensate for those. And I think that's all it was. Now, the fingers, I don't know. That one, again, I saw his fingers. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the kick, that it just the size of his competitor in that moment. So no, I don't feel he's a dirty fighter by any means. He's a cool cat. He and I are the ones who kind of made this fight in a way on Instagram before the Truth Jackson. Hey, follow me on new Instagram and Shits and Giggles brand, because they kicked off the Truth Jackson for cooking too many snow roaches. So it is what it is.
It looked like you guys spoke afterwards. It looked like he was kind of showing you something with his hands.
Yeah, well, he was trying to tell me, he's like, man, it wasn't intentional. Like I thought my hands were up, and I was like, yeah, it was up in my eye, But no, he was just trying to explain himself, and I can respect like I don't have any hard feelings or anything like that toward him. It's a fight at the end of the day, and it was just a fight that went to a disqualification for some crazy shit that happened.
How did it feel to get back in there after so long?
Man, if I'm being honest, and I don't want to sound cliche. I fucking hate sounding cliche. But, for me, I've dedicated a lot of time into getting physically ready, mentally ready to prepare for this fight. And I know, like, they're not trying to throw me in there with, like, some crazy killers, right? The dudes in, like, the top 15, whatever. So for me, being that I'm doing this for the shits and giggles and I enjoy what I do, I think this was an appropriate matchup. So for me, training and preparing, I felt great. One thing that I've implemented is the recovery process of fighting. Working with a massage therapist. Shout out to Erica for taking care of that. Working on my stretching. Just getting everything right, I have Brittany over here who's a great training partner with me who comes down and gives me good looks from someone who, crazy thing, like she's about this guy's height. So it was very applicable to having someone like her to train with. But no, man, I feel great. I'm in the gym. I never stopped training, barring like the first maybe month or so or 2 months in the pandemic. But even then, I didn't have a gym. I had a bag in the garage, and then I went and coincidentally, that January I was out at Gracie University in Cali, and I saw how they put together their jiu-jitsu mat. So during the pandemic, I built my own mat in my garage. And so that allowed me to get some training in, get some sparring in, get some rolling in. And then ever since then, I've been consistently in the gym. I'm in there 5-6 days a week. I get to work out with the amateur boxing classes. I'm sparring probably 40 rounds a week of boxing or kickboxing or something like that. So physically, I feel great. I come out here to the PI, they run the numbers. Now I look at it like, oh shit. You know, they can't believe it. Sometimes I can't believe it. You know, but nah, I feel solid. You know, with the layoff. But I didn't feel. I don't. You know, subscribe to the whole. You know, what was it? Fighter rust or ring rust and all that shit. I think that comes when you simply aren't prepared or you're not training. You know, if you're training in the gym consistently. You know, for me, I'm always having people trying to, whether they can hurt me or not, right, in the gym. I have these people going to me 100% trying to, like, beat me up, right? So if I have that 40, 50 rounds in a week, you know, coming in here against someone like Dean Barry, I'm prepared for that, you know. I've now fought in 3 different decades. I made my amateur debut in 2008, and I remember how I felt preparing for a fight back then compared to now. Today, much less nerves than I've ever had in my life. I was kind of anticipating it because I know it kind of like comes and flows. I had a little breakdown yesterday at lunchtime, though. I don't know if it was the weed or what. I was like, oh, shit, I'm getting to a fist fight tomorrow night, you know? And then it could have been there was a lot of people there, too, right? But then leaving that, I felt like, all right, we ready to go. No, nerves went away. And then today is kind of when it really hit you. I didn't have that for whatever reason. I didn't have that, like, oh, shit factor. It was just like, all right, we get in the fight, anything can happen, and shit, fucking anything happens.
And what's next?
Man, first we're going back to Houston early morning because I want to give a shout out to the guys at Fury FC. They got the Fury 60 card going on tomorrow. So you couldn't see the full art today, but you can see some dope art tomorrow on Fight Pass. Check that out for Fury 60. So I'm going back there, shoot some fights. I'm definitely gonna be back on the scene with Fury, and then after that, again, we're gonna get back in the gym. We're gonna let the nuts cool down a little bit from that spinning back kick. Hopefully, you know, the eye is nothing's really damaged with the eye. We get back, and we'll see what happens. You know, we'll talk to Sean. You know, I'll probably be back out here at the PI, getting some work in, getting the body right where it needs to be, and we'll see what happens.
First off, it was. Not that it was funny, but when you took the first dick shot, when you dropped down and when you were loudly making the exclamations, I wondered if the ref came over and tried to tell you to tone it down or anything when you were first yelling, because you're probably the first person I think I've ever heard use the exclamation so loudly.
Right.
Before, did they come over and?
Nah, I did. Look, that's just how I speak. You know, I'm very articulate, but I love fucking words, right? No, and again, the apex, you can really hear things.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, when I went down and rolled, when I rolled this way, it was a big-ass screen there with me laying on the ground. I was like, oh, shit, show the replay. Because I was just curious, because, you know, sometimes a legal kick may feel illegal, right? And so as I did that, I immediately was like, wait, was that a legal shot or illegal shot? Because I need to know right now if this was a knockout or if I really got kicked, you know? But I was cognizant of everything. I was coherent. I was ready to go as far as mentally. But my body, I felt the burn. Like my balls were burning. They were burning hot for a little bit, you know? And again, this is a fight, man. And I don't want to go out there with some burning balls and then like this dude throws another spinning back kick and crushes me in the face or something, you know, because I wasn't prepared. Then fast forward to the eye rate. Dude, like, and that's the thing. I told people before, I said this fight would be easier than the Punk fight, just given the preparations and all these things, but it would be a more dangerous fight. Always stuck by it. I said that and stuck by it. And we saw tonight. Like, it was a very dangerous fight, you know. The spinning back kick was a mere inches from where it's target, you know. So, I'm glad they don't burn no more.
It's funny because until you said that, I kind of forgot that you were calling for the replay. I think that's never heard of a fighter inside the cage actually calling for a replay.
I was like, yo, shout a replay, bro. Shout a replay,
but now tell me this, and you know, because when I was sitting cage side, it didn't look to me as bad until I saw it on replay, and then I saw the sort.
Oh, you got the replay? I need to see the replay.
There were some pictures and stuff, and then you would see it where you look. Because at first, I was wondering what the difference of why, if it was, because you even said yourself you didn't think it was a dirty. The difference of if it was being inadvertent or if it was actually intentional. Do you feel that after he stuck his hand and when it was the raking, actually what looked like he was digging in, is that what made it intentional, or what do you?
I think you had the first kick, It wasn't crazy hard, but it was an illegal strike, right? You got the second one, which was far more damaging, right? Then you add, because then now, even in that moment, when I got back up, was ready to go, I could still feel like a little burning sensation, I guess, but that wasn't going to stop me from fighting. But then you add in the rake where, again, I saw his finger, like, as my hands are right here right now, I saw his, and I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and I was like, because I physically saw it. Got a burp. I physically saw his fingers. So, and now from that point, I couldn't tell if his fingers are curled or straight. I just saw him in this fashion. But from Chris's, the reference, and from your point, I guess he had him curved a little bit, and that's gonna do damage.
Made the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, a poke is a poke, but again, it was a third foul. And then it was a damaging foul, you know. And again, we're in a fight. I don't want to go in there with one eye. I'm fucking blinking, and the doctor's coming and flashing the lights in the back, and they're like, "Can you see?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but that bright light hurts," you know. So, and I get my eyes examined, no problem. Like, I'm not like flinching from that. But in this moment, with this damaged eye and this bright light, and I'm flinching from a light, you know, fighter safety comes first. And again, for me, I'm doing it because I love it. And I want to be able to do the cool shit that I'm doing outside of this, right? But I get the dangers of a fight. I just didn't anticipate getting raked in the eye.
Well, that being said, you know, you've been waiting to get in there and waiting to get in there for so long, and then this happens. Was the night still fun for you, or you look back in this and you're like, man, I still didn't get what I wanted out of it. You got the W, but are you able to say you got what you wanted out of this fight because of the way that it happened?
I get a little bit of both. For me, it's not like I'm going for a title run or trying to get in the top of anything, right?
I'm saying this is the next title guy. They're having fun,
right? So I love the experience, because for me, I always tell people, I'm always around fighting, right? When you know, I'm Derek's camera, his photographer, when he gets to fight. We got Ike, a teammate, on the card. I got other friends who fight on the cards. And so when it's fight week, I get to kind of hang around and do the fight week festivities and things like that. So I'm always around it, right? Even on the Fury cards, I'm always around these guys, right? And it's a little different when I'm in there, so I still get to enjoy that experience. But the main thing, I really want to show the art that I have. And people see it in the gym. You know, they see it when I get to cross-train across the country. When I'm out here, I go train at Syndicate. If I'm in Denver, I go to Elevation or X Factor, things like that. So they're high-level guys that get to see what I've done. I just wanted to show the world tonight. So for me, that's the biggest letdown. Is that, because I know people talk shit. He sucks. He's decision punk. Okay, fine, whatever. But I'm way more than that, you know. I showed a little bit, and tonight was a night for me, or afternoon, I should say, to show a little bit more. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show that, but given this anomaly, so to speak, in this MMA, or I don't even say MMA, this UFC space, right? I'm hopeful that I get another opportunity. Well, you know, I shouldn't even say that. Will I get an opportunity or not? I still want to show the world some dope art.
Was this like a one and done? Or did you get after the Punk? Did you get another one, or do you have?
So this is still the Punk contract. The golf fight was one contract. Then I went and sparked some kid in some boxing. That was fun. I laid him face down on the mat. That was fun. Then we re-signed for the Punk fight. So this was just one of those on the Punk card. So I guess I got like two more. Whether I resign again, this may be it. You know, who knows? Because again, it's all about the right opportunity, right fighter that comes along. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what this was. If I'm kind of just hanging around, enjoying life after this, I'm cool with that. I tell people all the time, I don't have to fight. I literally fight because I just enjoy this sport. I have a passion for it. My life revolves around fighting, basically every aspect. You know, so. It is what it is. We're just enjoying the ride. I don't force. As I told Ariel I think Ariel tweeted some shit. I was like, bro, I don't foreshadow shit. I'm just here doing my thing.
So you're gonna try. I guess last thing for me. That being said, are you just gonna see how the rest of the year goes, or are you gonna hit up your boy and say, hey, you know, is there a guy out there? Is there somebody else out there? I know that's the tough part, is finding somebody with the experience. Right. Legit, to where it's not too unfair for you, but also,
correct.
You know,
correct,
competitive.
And I get that. You know, I understand the position that I'm in. Look, I talk to Sean. You know, from time to time he comes out to Houston. You know, we kick it a little bit. If he wants to do that, and again, I get they got a crazy roster here. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of people they have to look at that I'm not a priority. And I'm cool with that because, again, I understand my position. So if an opportunity, another opportunity arises with a Dean Barry kind of situation, cool. If it doesn't, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here for the shits and giggles, baby. My amusement, with a purpose.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike, congrats on the win, regardless of how it came.
I mean, I'm not that. I know you probably have other guys up here like, yeah, look, man. I'll take it. Appreciate it.
But I've seen eye pokes before. That one was absolutely horrible. At the moment when it happened, was that like just the eye shut down, double vision? Because you struggled to get back up. I saw you grab.
Yeah, well, for me, it was two things. It was me trying to get up and also open my eye at the same time. I guess I couldn't do those two things at the same time. But not like that. The crazy thing I was telling somebody, I think I did another interview, and I was like, my very first fight. Yo, speaking of, I've now fought in 3 different decades. That's some crazy shit, right? I'm old and washed. My very first fight, 2008. First round. Dude jabs me in the eye with his fingers. I was like, oh, I immediately saw white. Crazy thing, it was the same eye. Oh. I saw white for a moment, and then I'm blinking and blinking and blinking, and then finally, it could have been 10 seconds. It could have been 30 seconds. I have no idea. Actually, I need to go back and watch that fight. It finally cleared up, and he's just kind of looking at me. And I was like, because in my moment, I was like, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. And then I finally get my vision back. He's kind of like, I was like, oh, shit, cool, let's fight. And then I strangled him. So that was cool. But, nah, man, it was bad. Like, crazy. I saw his fingers go through. That was the first time I experienced that. Like I said, the first fight I had was a poke. This was more like a rate, like some old pro wrestling shit. I guess he took out, he watched the Punk fight, and he was like, let me give him a little bit. Give me that pro wrestling.
All right. Well, if we, moving forward, there's no way you can't take this buzz, and I'm sure you'll parlay to something big.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, plus 700. Tell me.
Was I plus 700?
For the internet, did someone get action on that?
Man, here's the thing. So when someone posted the line on Reddit real quick, right? And I saw it, and I was like, yo, get Buddy to minus 1,000. I'm going to put a G on myself. Because I think if he was a plus 1,000, I probably would have been like plus 700. And then I used the app, and every time I go in the app, it says your country's blocked. And I try to change my VPN and keep it. So I kind of like put it away because I was supposed to bet on myself. I was going to put a G on myself. Damn. I think plus 900 was the ending line. Huh?
Late money probably moved you.
Yeah, because I think someone tagged, the motherfucking trolls. They be tagging me in that stupid shit. And so I think a tag was like me, it was plus 900. I was like, yo, I'm going to make somebody. I made somebody some life-changing money today because I had a bunch of people like, yo, I'm putting a G. I'm putting 10 Gs. And I was like, bro, why y'all tweeting me? That's too much pressure, bro. But if you tell me, you put some money on it, cool. But don't tell me I put 10 grand on you. I'm like, bro. Don't tell me that. But it was cool, man. It sucks that the win came that way. At the end of the day, I'm still a fighter. And you want to get your hand raised from you finishing the fight as opposed coming off a foul or things like that, right? And it is what it is because, again, it's a fight.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you. Yeah. Hey, real quick, if y'all still recording, follow my new Instagram, Chits and Giggles brand. They're not going to kick that one off. I can take this water, right? Can I take it? You going to put another one up? All right.